Hello everyone, welcome to this video. Today I'm going to be doing a what's on my phone. This is my phone. This is the Google Pixel 9. This is just the base model and it's in the color white with 256 gigabytes of storage. The case that I have on it currently is just from Spigen and it's clear and it has the MagSafe ring just because I like to use some MagSafe accessories. I do have a MagSafe pop socket and a MagSafe wallet that I like to use from time to time, but I also just like to use it plain. As you can see, there's nothing on it right now. This is what my home screen looks like. You can see on the top here, there's just the date and the weather. I kind of have like a fall theme going on already. It's only mid-beginning of August when I'm filming this, but fall is my favorite season and I'm obviously very excited for it to begin. So I do have a fall wallpaper going on. And then I also have my camera and wallet widgets on the bottom corners here. That's just what my home screen looks like. Now let's open the phone. That was actually my lock screen. This is my home screen. This is what it looks like at first glance. I only have a couple widgets on this page, and I'm sorry if the quality of this camera is not very good. I will try my best to show you what I can on here. So this is what the screen looks like, and all of my apps are on this one page. I only have the ones that I use every day that I need access to, so I'll just show you really quickly which ones those are. So along the bottom, I have the phone, and then I have this kind of social folders. I have WhatsApp and Facebook Messenger, which are the two main ones that I use every single day. Messenger is where I have a bunch of my group chats, and WhatsApp is how me and my husband text. And my in-laws also use that a lot more since they're from Mexico and it's a lot more popular there. WhatsApp's actually not as popular here in Canada as it is in Mexico, but I do have it because me and my husband use that for our day-to-day texting. Messenger is where my family group chats are. Snapchat, I literally only use Snapchat to talk to my sister and a couple friends. I think only like one or two friends. I snap like 3 people in Snapchat. So yeah, I have that there. And then Discord I use when I'm playing Minecraft or any online games with my friends. I haven't really been playing Minecraft lately, but to keep that in the folder here. There's Gmail, which just is access to my main email. Microsoft Teams, which I use to text my coworkers. Google Messages, which is equivalent to iMessage on the iPhone. I don't use Google Message that often. Only a couple of my friends will text me through just like regular texting, so that's why I have that in this folder. And then I have Microsoft Outlook, which is my work email. Unfortunately, a couple of the apps don't match like the themed icons. I think it just is the apps themselves that haven't like configured their settings to the Google Pixel themed icons, which is kind of unfortunate because they stick out like a sore thumb. So that's everything in that folder. The next app that I have on the bottom here is just Spotify because I use that pretty much every day. When I'm working, I like to listen to a lot of classical music. I also just have like my general music that I listen to in the car and podcasts and stuff like that. And then I have Google Chrome here on the bottom and my camera icon, which I don't use that often because I have the shortcut set up to double click the power button and then it brings me automatically to my camera. But I do like having that easy access there if I were just on my phone. Yeah, there's that. So there used to be a menu that you could swipe this way and it would show up here. And it was basically just a bunch of like personalized ads that I never looked at. It was either ads or news, I can't remember. Long story short, I never used it, so I went and disabled that. And then you also can't swipe right. So it's literally only this main menu that shows up. But now I'm gonna show you my widgets. I only have a couple widgets on my home screen. The first one is the Bible app widget, which shows the verse of the day. And I can also click on this to bring me to the Bible app, which I use pretty much every day. I follow a couple Bible plans. Really horrible. I started these a long time ago and I don't do the amount that it says in the day. Like here in one day it says what, like 6 chapters. Sometimes I'll only read like a couple. Once I go through them, it'll check it off. So it's like kind of my own way of tracking. I know this is supposed to be like a 40-day challenge, but I don't know, it's just my way of like tracking what I'm reading so that I can go in here and see. This date here at the top automatically shows up. It just shows the date and the weather. I think, yeah, if you click on it, it also brings you to the weather app. So this is what our weather is today. 22 degrees Celsius, feels like 25. We're still very much in our summer weather. It's not even fall weather yet, and I'm already like in fall mode. But the other widget that I have here on the home screen is just to a Pinterest board. So it shows pictures from a Pinterest board of my choosing. If I click on it, it brings me to it. So I have it on the autumn aesthetic Pinterest board, so every hour it will change and show a new image. The photo just changed because it's a new hour. Now I'll show you what's in this folder. This is kind of like my productivity apps that I use pretty much every day. The first one is Keep Notes, which is where I keep all of my notes. So it's equivalent to like the Notes app on an iPhone. I just have a bunch of random lists, random thoughts. Sometimes I'll journal in here. It's really not organized at all. Yeah, there's that. And then I have my Google Calendar, which is where I track appointments, any events that I have to keep note of, like far in the future. And then I will transfer events and appointments from here to my bullet journal or to my planner, whatever I'm using at the time. And then the clock app, which is where I set my daily alarms every night and morning. I have Google Photos, pretty self-explanatory, it's where all my photos are. And then Google Maps, which I keep there because I use it actually quite often when I'm trying to find new addresses. The next folder that I have here is the social folder. So these are just my main social media apps that I use. I have Facebook, Instagram, which this is my Instagram if you want to go follow me over there. I do post a lot more of like day-to-day stuff on here than I do on YouTube. I have Pinterest, which I love Pinterest. Unfortunately though, I find there are a lot of ads on Pinterest these days, so I haven't been using it as often as I used to. But I have learned a hack where if you press not interested or hide pin on multiple advertisements, it will stop showing ads for I think like the next hour. And I think you have to do it on 5 advertisements. Let's see if it's true. See, there's just so many. Like I feel like sometimes you can't even tell if it's an ad too. Oh, there. Yeah, it seemed to have worked. So yeah, that's a life hack. And then I have YouTube Studio, which is just where I look at my YouTube analytics and I can change thumbnails on there as well. Although I don't really use it as much anymore because YouTube has changed where now you can do that directly in the YouTube app, which is also in this folder. And then I also have LinkedIn in this folder, which I don't use very often, but I do like to check it from time to time, just for work things. And that's all the apps that I have on this main page. On the bottom here is just like a Google bar, so you can go in here and search through your phone, and then you can also search in Google, quick access and really convenient. When I scroll up, you're able to see all of the apps on my phone. For the rest that aren't on my homepage, I'll usually just search it here, but I'll just really quickly show you the rest. First one that I have here is Adobe Scan. This is what I use to scan any document. So I use it for work and I also use it for personal use. Scan it and put it through here, and then it goes to the cloud so I can easily access it on my work laptop or on my personal laptop. That's Adobe Scan. Air Canada is just where I track flights whenever we're traveling. All Trails is for hiking, which we haven't really been hiking at all this year. Shows us the condition of the trail, how it's looked recently. People will post pictures, reviews, if there's lots of bugs, that kind of thing. Amazon shopping, pretty self-explanatory. I like to scroll on Amazon sometimes. I don't buy a lot of things on there, but I do like to scroll and window shop. Google Authenticator is mainly for my work. We have to authenticate every time we log into something new, which can get annoying, but I have all of my authenticate passcodes on the one Google Authenticator. Then again, there's the Bible app. I can access it from here as well as my home screen. I have the Bose app, which connects to my big headphones, which are actually right here. So I can control the noise canceling level that I want and just like which devices I want them to connect to through Bluetooth. Calculator app, which just comes with the phone when you get it. Canva, which I use for YouTube and for work. YouTube, I use it for thumbnails, and for work sometimes I'll use it for posters. Cineplex is just the app for the movie theater in our area, so we can buy tickets off there. Clue is my period tracker app. Contacts is where all of my phone contacts are. Disney Plus, mainly I use that when we travel. I'll download movies on my phone. There's been too many times where we don't download any movies and we end up not having anything to do on the flight. So I have grown just to have something on my phone. Google Docs, I don't use very often, but I use it just to view documents. The Domino's Pizza app for ordering pizza. Enduring Word is just a Bible commentary app that I enjoy using when I'm doing Bible study. It's also free, so I really highly recommend that app if you want to get into the Word of God a bit deeper and just know more context about what you're reading. Etsy, again, just for window shopping. I like looking at inspiration for gifts for my friends and family. Expensify, I use for work to submit expenses. Files is just a place to view all of the files on my phone, and I can kind of control the storage, and it gives me a good overview at what is taking up the most space on my phone. Apps are what take up the most space, obviously, but videos also take a good chunk because I do film my YouTube videos on my phone most of the time. Right now I'm filming on my GoPro just because I need to, because I'm trying to show you what's on my phone, but if it's just a regular vlog or something like that, I always film on my phone. Find tab is just like the Find My iPhone for Google. I haven't had to use it. I don't even think I'm logged in on this. Google Fit is just the health app for Google. Fitbit is the one I use if I'm tracking. I'm really not tracking stuff like that lately though, but I do still have them. This is where Gemini is. You can either type in to talk to Gemini or you can press this and have a conversation. I have found Gemini quite useful in a couple of scenarios. I don't use it all the time. I'm not really a huge AI person. Then I have Goodreads, which is where I track all of my reads for the year. I am currently at 19 books for 2025, which is not as much as last year, but I'm still pretty proud. And I'm currently reading Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. I didn't put it on here yet, but I am currently reading Ninth House, and that's more of like a spooky fall read, dark academia vibes. Then there is the Google app, which is very self-explanatory. I never use it though, just because I have Google Chrome. Google One just kind of overlooks the storage on my phone. I do pay a subscription for 200 gigabytes of storage, and it shows me how much of that storage is being used. Google TV, I never use Google TV, but I think it just shows the subscriptions that you have, like what's available to you and the things that you pay for, because nowadays we're paying for different streaming services. It just reminds me of cable. If you're paying for a bunch of different streaming services and then you end up having to rent a movie that you want to watch because it's not on the million streaming services that you pay for. Then there's the GoPro app. I don't use it very often. I normally just transfer my photos through the SD card in my camera, but I can use this to view footage on the GoPro without taking the SD card out if I'm on the go or something like that. Guitar Tuna is a tuner for my ukulele. Google Home is the hub for all the Google devices that you have. I don't have any other ones. I had a Google Home, but it's at my mom's. Honk Mobile is just a parking app. Indigo I keep on here for window shopping. I like to look at deals and sales. Indigo is one of my favorite stores, and so I love window shopping on here. Next is the Kindle app, which I can read a book on here if I really wanted to. I don't always read on my phone, but I like having the option if I'm in like a waiting room at a doctor's office or something. Then I have Letterboxd, which is where I track the movies that I watch. On here, I usually only track new movies. So if I'm rewatching a movie, I don't put it in here. Then I have Adobe Lightroom, which I use to edit photos. I don't use it very often anymore. It's actually an on and off relationship, I would say. I don't use it super often. And if I do, it's only for Instagram. But lately I've just been editing in the app itself, like in Instagram. And then I have Loop, which I actually don't need anymore, so I'm gonna uninstall that one. Next app is LTK, which is Like to Know, I think. A lot of influencers and social media people will use that to link products and, you know, their outfits and stuff like that in there. So I just downloaded it so I could, again, kind of window shop and get ideas and stuff like that. Then I have MadFit. This is a workout app from the YouTuber MadFit. I used to do a lot of her YouTube workouts like during COVID. There's a paid element to this that you can subscribe to, but I just use like the free aspect of it, which kind of links to the YouTube videos, but you can go up here and search like what kind of workout you want to do and then click on the video and it'll bring you to the YouTube video. I really enjoy her workouts. If I do at-home workouts, I'm usually doing hers. They're really good, and she was also a dancer at one point, and she has some dancer themed workout. She's also Canadian, so yeah, if you haven't checked out her videos, you should, because they're really fun to do. Manulife is just my benefits provider for work, so I can go in there and check which benefits are available and how much I have spent in each category. Metro, I keep this on here because it's a grocery store. I can check the deals that are going on. I also have like a membership. I don't really have a lot of points. My T-Tel is my phone service provider, so I can go on there and see how much data I have left every month. We don't even have Netflix anymore, so I'm just gonna uninstall that. Google News, I never check this. You can even see I haven't even opened it, I don't think. OneNote, I use only for work. I keep track of my hours on there, and I also keep track of like to-do lists that I'm doing if I don't have a bullet journal or a like paper journal on me. Outlook is my work email. Passport Parking is a parking app. I can pay for parking on here if we're downtown or something like that. PC Optimum, another points app. My card is also on here. Pixel Studio is just like a photo editing. You can edit photos, you can make like little stickers. I never really use it. Pixel Tips just gives me tips for using the phone. Play Store is where I go and download different apps. Porter Airlines I use when we travel, just holds all of my flight information whenever we travel with Porter. Poshmark is another shopping app that I like to window shop on. It's more secondhand stuff. I've gotten only one thing on here before, but I do like to go in here and scroll through sometimes. Presto is just for when we travel to Toronto, but I actually don't think I'm gonna need that, so I'm just gonna uninstall. Prime Video, another streaming service that we pay for that I mainly have it just for The Summer I Turned Pretty. Recorder, I never use. Reddit, sometimes I will use. Sometimes I'll just scroll through Reddit. I just follow a couple random Reddit threads. Mainly I use it when I'm looking up something really obscure. It opens the app so that I can view the full thread. Safety, I don't know what this is. Oh, it has like the car crash detection. You can do emergency sharing, different options. I should probably look more into that. Next is Scene Plus, which is where I track my scene point. Okay, it's temporarily unavailable, but I have a credit card where I earn scene points every time I use it. So I'll mainly use it for like movies, but there's other places you can use them at. Scotiabank is another app I check very often. That's just where we do our banking. The Pixel automatically comes with a screenshots icon, so you can click on it and it shows you all of the screenshots that you've taken. And it kind of automatically categorizes them if you want to. Then there is Sephora, which is another app that I just like to kind of window shop on and look at sales, just to kind of get a price point on certain things. SharePoint, I use mainly for work. I don't use it very often. Shop, also another one I don't use often. It's what I use to track my packages if I order something online. Starbucks, again, just for my points whenever we go. Stickerly is an app where you can get some funny stickers for WhatsApp. It has a lot of ads though, and it can get quite annoying. Storygraph is another reading tracker that I like to use, and I will actually leave some reviews sometimes on this one. The Chosen, I actually don't really need this since it's on Amazon Prime. It's one of my favorite shows, and I recommend it to everybody. Toyota is for our car, so we can lock the doors. We can check certain stats on our car, which is kind of funny to me. I never use it. Google Translate comes with the phone. TripAdvisor I mainly use whenever we're traveling or looking at new restaurants just to look at reviews from people. Uber is mainly also what we use when we travel because we don't have that where we live. Uber Eats we use to order takeout. Google Wallet is where I keep a lot of my cards so that I don't have to carry a wallet on me. Google Watch I never use. The weather app I use every day, but I'll access it from the home screen through the widget. WestJet again is just another traveling app. Whenever we travel with WestJet, it shows all of our flight information on Words with Friends. I used to play a lot more with my mom, but she's really good and like super hard to beat. I'll have like spurts where I'm playing it a lot more frequently, but lately I have not been playing. Finally, we have YouTube Music, which I don't use because you have to pay for this. And then the last app on here is the Zoom app, just in case I need to take a work call or something. But that is how my phone has been set up, and that's all the apps that I currently have as of August 2025. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Yeah, these are always super fun to make. I'm sorry again that the quality is not very good on this video, just because I had to use my GoPro since I'm showing you what's on my phone. Hopefully in the future I can get a better quality camera for these up close shots. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you in the next one, and I hope you have a good day. Bye!